And let's have a look. Yes, perfect. We are live. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Lachlan, I'm gonna let you get started. If you need another minute or two, meanwhile, we're having everyone connecting. So hi, everyone. Welcome to today's live trading room with Lachlan from Samurai Day Trading. Prepare yourselves because Lachlan did say that the markets are already booming and ready to go for today's session. So everyone, just grab your notes and enjoy the session.
Very good, Alan. Thank you, guys and girls. I'm just going to get started now. The flip side of that, the markets were very, very quiet until about 15 minutes ago. And then the Europeans decided they were going to try and break their all-time high. That has spooked a ton of traders as into what the hell are you doing? And America disagrees with them and is selling the market down. So suffice to say, we're in for a great little session. So as we get going, my name's Lockie. I'm going to host you for the session. I'm just making sure that everybody can chat to everybody. As we'll get that rocking and rolling. We'll run through our slides. So we'll run through our slides in our prep and similar things. I'll also, while I'm here, guys, so the 2025 all-time high for the FTX has just been reset. Which is very exciting. It's very, very exciting. Now that means that we're, I think we're in for a really good session. The last couple of days have been incredible. Incredible. So I would suggest that we're in for an equally powerful session. Again, I don't think it's going to be running as fast, guys. I don't think it'll be running as fast as what it was over the last couple of days. Suffice to say, I think it's going to be a really good little session. All right, so we'll get into it, guys and girls. And as I did last time, guys, once we've done the intro and gone through this, once we get into the live charts, then we will be. I'll turn that camera off, right, so it doesn't interfere with the YouTube videos. Guys, a little bit of a milestone, if we can, based on the live trading room we ran last week, as well as YouTube and a couple of other social media things. We were talking to over 150 traders. Now, I would suggest that's probably in around about 10 or 12 different countries. So suffice to say, I'm excited by that. It'd be really exciting to build that up to sort of 300 or 400 traders, because we can fit a lot of people into the European market. There is no doubt about that. Yeah, Ali, you were just popping along. Ahmed, how are you? I hope you're fantastic. I'll grab your microphone. So I'm grabbing a couple of microphones as we roll in. So guys, welcome. Basically today, hello mate. How are you? I hope you're brilliant.
Hi traders.
Hello, Lockie. Hello, mate. Hello, all mates. You're very well. As I've also got, so over here in the office in Japan, I've actually got traders in the office here as well who might be talking to me. So there's going to be a lot of opinions, which is always good fun when we're all doing the same thing. So suffice to say, thank you to TTP for having us for another live European Open on Thursday, guys. So basically, we're running these LTRs just to teach everybody how to get started as a professional trader. The trading teams are trading very, very well, as we've had a dynamite week. We've got a number of traders that have actually finished trading for the week because their profit has been so good. As I was in the US close live trading room this morning with Fred, and it was such a ballistic session, as it was really fast. So suffice to say, guys and girls, we're heading in the right direction. Andy, trading today already has been very good. And for the FTX traders, you are currently setting up an absolutely amazing sell signal at 23355, just to give you a little tip. Now, I'm not going to enter that trade only because I'm talking to you guys. I'm focused on this, but we're setting up the most amazing short. Let me put it that way. Now, very, very quickly, Remy, over KPI for the week. There's a lot of people. So for those that don't know, we've got set KPIs, or key performance indicators, for a number of traders. As we had one of the traders this morning qualify for two $50,000 accounts in 3 trades. Those two $50,000 funded accounts in 3 trades. So may I suggest, I know we've said it before, guys, funding is a game changer. But again, if you are well managed, not only can you guys get funded, but you can stay funded. And I think that's probably think that's probably the trick. Now, guys, very quickly, because we are going across multiple jurisdictions today, I do need to run through a couple of what we call CCNs, or customer caution notices. First and foremost, there will be traders using futures and also CFDs today. Ultimately, what we do have to mention is there are risks in both of those trading instruments. Now, that being said, guys and girls, both of those instruments are traded on margin. What does that mean? You can ultimately lose money very, very quickly. You can also make money very quickly, and that's where we come in as professional risk controllers. The reason being is when you're trading on margin, you're basically borrowing a little bit of money every time you take a trade. And when you do borrow that money, naturally, it's a double-edged sword, but it's a really good sword, as you can probably tell by the chat. A lot of people are already well over their daily goals, but also well over their weekly goals. Now, that being said, as a shout out to a couple of the traders on the east coast of Australia, primarily the Sunshine Coast, and also down there in Newcastle. Some of our Newcastle-based traders have actually finished trading for the week already, and it's only Thursday. So suffice to say, it's been a good one. Now, ladies and gents, information in the presentation is going to be general nature only, or what we say, it's general information only. The past performance of all financial products now can no longer be used as an indication of future performance. Now, we have got another issue, guys, we do need to talk about. There's a lot of issues, and that is market risk factors. So, guys, today I'm going to be identifying effectively 10 different trading strategies simultaneously. It's not 10 at the same time, but there'll be 10 different ways to get in and out of the market. Guys, 100% as per the education that we teach. The education, guys, a little bit of a history lesson. My futures trading journey started in August 2007. I wrote the current trading strategy starting between August 2009 and around about March 2010. Suffice to say, there's a ton of history behind what we're doing today. That being said, the market risk factor is that I might call a really good trade at a certain price, such as FDAX, a really, really lovely signal, guys, setting up short at 23355. I've told you that already. There's a beautiful short setting up. Now, again, that being said, there's no guarantee you'll be able to get into the trade at exactly the price level that I've suggested, particularly if you are trading CFDs. And what that ultimately means is I'm going to give you as close as to the exact entry point I can. I'll be drawing lines on the chart showing you exactly what to do. I'll be suggesting an RCP, or risk control point, on the particular trade. If you've got experience in trading, guys and girls, just go nuts. Do what you normally do. If you haven't got experience in trading, please don't be romanced into a trade until you know why we're doing it and ultimately how we're going to manage that trade. Now, my history very quickly, guys, as I said, discovered futures trading in August 2007. I was a Forex and CFD trader at that point in time. I then switched to futures full time. I opened my first trading school in Australia in August 2009. That's because the Australian population was desperate for trading schools that actually knew what they were doing. As may I suggest, till to this day, the Australians are desperate to find trading schools that actually know what they're doing. Long story short, guys, I'm 15 years in the regular army, so 15 years effectively overseas. Had an incredible time. I basically couldn't get married or have children with the job that I had in the army. As a result, guys, I got out of the army. Now I'm a father of 3, husband to a keto, passionate educator, and I'm also an enthusiast of adrenaline sports for those that follow my Instagram, guys, all my socials. Now, with all that said, ladies and gents, we're going to be using the foundation rules and strategies in the trading room today. Once again, they've been developed from 2009 onwards. So you're looking at sample sizes of around about 15 to 18,000 trades, guys, particularly on a trade called a bias switch, which is sometimes probably some of my older traders' favorite trade. Now, what we're going to focus on today, guys, candlestick analysis, that's CSA, so these points over there on the left-hand side. Ultimately, delta trading, there'll be two deltas running on the screen today. The delta is a proprietary indicator that allows us to see what the bigger banks and financial institutions are doing. Guys, so if we agree with the direction they're trading, we are going to be using indicators to enhance our decision-making process on pure price movement. So everything we actually do, we are pure price movement traders. We don't do anything but pure price movement. We just have indicators to enhance our decision making. Now, speaking of that, as the delta is 100% indicator based. If we cruise down to ratios and static versus dynamic, that's 100% pure price movement based. So that's old school technical analysis. Mind you, the futures markets, ladies and gents, because of the broker the non-broker centric nature of the markets, it means that the ratios static versus dynamic entries are very, very predictable. That's why we can run at such a high strike rate. And for those into ABC or stair-step patterns, we will be using those as every 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be looking at stair-step. Michael, hello, mate. Is this the LTR for Thursdays? 100% MJ. Yes, so we're doing a joint LTR for TTP. And once again, guys and girls, thank you to TTP for recognizing the capability of what we do. So we'll be doing this, guys, fingers crossed, guys, for the whole year with TTP on a Thursday. So if you're enjoying what we do, guys, absolutely brilliant. Guys, if you do want to join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, guys, particularly if you want to join us in the US close, which is incredible, then please do jump on the website and run through the different things that we do. Now, one thing I have been doing since 2009, guys, we let the market do the heavy lifting. What does that ultimately mean? We let the market generate the signal for us. We don't second guess the direction of the market. We don't forecast where the market's going to go until the market tells us it's going to go there. Now, the way we do that, ladies and gents, which is a little bit unique to this particular trading room, is we're going to use the NASDAQ in the top left-hand corner. Guys, we've got the S&P 500 as the NASDAQ reference chart. Guys, top right-hand side, we've got the FDAX. We've also got the FESX as a reference chart. But ultimately, ladies and gents, the FESX being the largest market in the world at this time, bar none. There's a lot of people that say, oh, Lockie, the Forex market's big or this market's big. Da, da, da. The FESX is undisputably the largest market in the world for the European Open. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using that as a filter to basically trade all the other three markets. And guys and girls, may I suggest it's a really, really steadfast way of trading the European Open quite well. Now, moving on a little bit further, just be aware, again, if you are going to be joining us, guys, in the other LTR, just be aware that it does move faster and harder than this one. So this is fairly soft today, even though I think it's going to move pretty quick. As European Open, we'd be expecting with the volume today, I'm just double checking, just under 60,000. So we'd be expecting between 12 and 15 trades. As we'll be doing short and long range targets. If you want to go for a long range target, I'd suggest splitting your contract so you can make some money quickly, control your risk so you've got nothing at risk at all. And then we're going to go for long range targets. I'll guide you as I can. As we are going to be using a risk control point, so I will suggest, and that's normally around about a quarter of the market's volatility. So again, if the market is running hard, we'll have a risk control point. That's when I would suggest that you start reducing your risk or considering cutting your risk off. As now, this is a way that instead of focusing on this 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, not being rude, but 1-to-1 risk to reward was kind of 25 years ago, out of date, kind of really old Harley Davidson kind of stuff. There is a much better way to trade the market now, which is an early first target, control your risk, let your profit run. So today we will probably be ending up with trades that are 50 to 100 times risk to reward in our favor with money already in the bank. May I suggest that's a smarter way to trade than the old school 1-to-1. Now, that being said, as we do have a US closed live trading room, the difference being normally 17 to 20 trades. They only look at 2 markets, not 3. It is far faster, as it involves significantly more risk. But obviously the flip side of that is the potential, as we saw this morning in the US close, the potential for profit was absolutely incredible. Now, anybody that is going short on the FDAX at 23355, if you're short, guys, you're already moving into your profit zone. So just watch that trade very closely if we can. Now, guys, why do we use an LTR? I got asked a great question, guys, on Instagram a couple of days ago. Lockie, why focus on a live trading room? I thought it was a really, really good question. Guys, we focus on live trading rooms because I tend to find if traders are supported, guys, not only in their education process, but also in their trade execution journey, which sounds like, oh my gosh, is that a good trade? Yes or no? Guys, when I first started trading, I was trading by myself. Now, as much as I knew the trading system quite well, I was very, very new to trading. So I constantly second guessed what I was doing. Like, oh, wow, you know what? I know that's a good looking trade, but is there something I've missed? Is there something in the way? So I tend to find live trading rooms are a really good foundation for not only educating you in the game of trading, and it is a game, guys, if you don't mind, it's a game of who can stay disciplined and patient long enough to make money. As I discovered that very early in 2009, and we basically built it since then. So long story short, guys, we run a live trading room because the number one thing around the world that traders are missing, they're not supported in their actual journey. Now, what does that mean? Typically, a lot of people can get funded, but then they blow up their account. So again, there's 2 steps in the funding process. There's actually getting funded, so developing your competence as a professional trader, but then it's being held accountable to your performance for at least 6 to 9 months. so you can double, triple, quadruple that funded account and actually start to make some really good money. Those also get a long way away from that trailing stop, guys, which can be a little bit unfriendly. So suffice to say, guys and girls, I think live trading rooms produce better traders faster, and that's why we do it. Ultimately, our success is your success. Guys, we are growing as a community. We've got 3 brand new traders that have joined us this week. Again, for the referrals, guys, of clients. So key point, if I can, we do absolutely no marketing. Guys, for Samurai, we are word of mouth only, and suffice to say, guys and girls, we're growing quite quickly. So the focus today, guys, profit first. It'll be profit first, education second. I'll answer questions in the last 15 minutes. Some of the traders in the live trading room have been with me for more than 12 years. So be advised, you could see some pretty big profits being posted in the live trading room today, guys. If so, awesome. We will be running it over a 90% strike rate today, guys. We've been doing that since 2009. There is not a signal that I'll be calling today with less than a 90% strike rate. As Louis, 42 ticks times 3 contracts on S&P. Okay, it's already started. That's a big trade, guys. That's a big trade. I'll just quantify that for you. 42 ticks times $12.50 US. Okay, so that's $525. How many contracts, Louis? Times 3. Guys, that's a $1,500 US trade, right? So again, there will be some Louis, guys, in here. There's quite a few really good traders. Just be aware they're going to be posting some really cool profits, guys. Don't get jealous about those profits. That's what I did when I first started. I used to get jealous about profits. Guys, please don't get jealous. Please understand that we're all basically doing the same thing. So if you love the profit you're seeing, then ask what that trader is doing. That's probably a smarter question. Guys, I do put videos, guys, out on YouTube every day. Again, the last 3 days have been incredibly volatile. So if you are going to go and have a look at YouTube, guys, some of the videos are absolutely hilarious because the markets are moving very fast. There's no question about that. Now, guys, the best trade for you, ultimately some personal considerations. The best trade for you is the one that makes most sense to you. So ultimately, guys, if the trade makes most sense to you, not only are you going to trade it responsibly, but you're going to give it enough time to go to profit, which is really important. Speaking of that, if you guys are short on the FDAX at 233.55, you've already gone through a 25-point target. Guys, 25 points times $25, it's a $500 US trade. I want you to try and hold that short for longer, guys, while we get to the charts. We're not even at the charts yet. And that trade on FDAX is looking amazing. Now, guys and girls, if you're brand new to trading, please watch, listen, and learn. Is a really important point. If you're an experienced trader, do what you know to do, guys, and I'll try and help you as required. Please note that we're going to maximize the profit, guys. We're going to minimize the risk on every single trade. I do use an RCP or risk control point. I'll talk about that when we're in the charts. Guys, and please note that if a trade does require more risk than you're happy to take, please don't take that trade. Really important. Guys, if you're an Instagram fan, guys, the Instagram I use is i.love.trading, because literally i.love.trading. Guys, I started professionally trading in 2009. My entire life now is professional trading. So I'm either teaching people, how to trade, or I'm trading myself, or I'm trading here with my wife, who's traded very well yesterday. So guys and girls, yeah, if you have a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, other half, really exciting to get them into the game of trading with you. These deltas long on NASDAQ, for the delta traders, these black diamond deltas long are absolutely wonderful trades. Now, guys, we're coming into the European Open. Some of you are a little bit sensitive to trading into the European Open. Just be aware those black diamonds are pretty good. Your risk control point is around about 15 to 16 ticks on those trades. Now, guys, I'm going to get rid of that camera if you don't mind, only because I don't want the camera to cover up the charts. Andy, you've taken that long trade. Okay, well done. All right, so camera's off, guys. Camera's off. Now, let me just move some stuff around my screen here. I'll move the stuff around my screen, make sure that we are in a good place. Okay, get rid of that. Yes, Mark, absolutely on the money, guys and girls. So again, today, I do believe, ladies and gents, I do believe that we're looking for short range longs. So short range longs and short range longs. I'll put the arrows on the screen. Guys, we're looking for little longs and we're looking for massive shorts. Okay, now again, that might change, guys. That might change as we move through the trading session. Suffice to say, these guys are already blowing my Fibonacci, so we're going to have to go and fix those. Now, guys, as I come into the session, what I'm looking for is ultimately agreement, guys, agreement between the markets. Now, at this point in time, guys, at this, wow. Okay, I'm going to go for a bigger chart here, guys. Just hold on one sec. Now, the S&P 500 is a really, really good guide as to what the NASDAQ is likely to do. As has already been pointed out, guys, we are rolling into 4-hour shorts. Guys, let me just get this on the screen. We are rolling into 4-hour shorts. Guys, let me just double check what Europe is doing, because if Europe is doing the same, it's threatening the same. So, guys, I'd suggest today, if you're going to go long on the market, okay, you're going to have a really, really tight risk control points. Okay, if we go short on the market, we're going to be going for really, really long range targets. Now, for those of you that are short, some of you are short on the FDAX already, guys. For those that have gone short at 23355, guys, as I was saying in the intro, guys, if you've gone short, you're already 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You're already 40 points times $25 into profit. Okay, so you guys are going really well on the FDAX. We will get another crack at that, guys. We'll get another crack at that. I think today is going to be quite volatile. So bottom left-hand corner, guys, 11 minutes until the gun goes. Please note that the S&P 500 is right on the edge. ES, NQ, 4-hour long, aren't they shorts? Mark, so we have a 4-hour SBR long from earlier in the price movement. Okay, so again, I'll point that out to you, mate, because again, so what we got is this beautiful sell down here. So beautiful sell down here. Okay, that little candle there is an incredible reversal long. Now, the reason I picked that up, as much as we're in 4-hour, it's all good, mate. As much as we are loading 4-hour shorts, as much as we're loading 4-hour shorts, if the 4-hour short can't hold at the start of the European Open, they're going to basically try and trigger these longs and go crazy to the high side. Okay, so what we do need on the 4-hour charts, and again, it's a great question. We're going to draw a Fibonacci. We're going to draw a Fibonacci up, guys, to catch them on the way down. Okay, noting that the Fibonacci is always drawn with the spine left to right. Guys, it's never drawn from right to left. Otherwise, typically it's going to be upside down. And as you guys know, Fibonacci is not palindromic, so you cannot use it in both directions the same. It's got to be switched around the other way. Now, what we do want to know, is has the S&P 500 honored that 23 fib? Okay, so have a look here. So right there, we picked up this incredible static bar reversal, long, straight off the 4-hour Fibonacci. So that suggests to me the S&P is trading a 4-hour game. Now, if the S&P is trading a 4-hour game, guys, the NASDAQ may also be trading a 4-hour game. If you are short, guys and girls, if you are short on that price I suggested on the FDAX, you're now more than 60 points into profit. So you are way beyond, you are way beyond a risk control point. So please take some profit off the market on the FDAX, because coming into open, they can get a little bit upset, as no doubt we experience every day. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to switch my 4-hour fibs up to catch them on the way down. That's a 60-minute chart fib. That's clearly expired now, so I'm going to have to go and build that back for you, which I will. So 4-hour charts, guys, or 4-hour Fibonacci's are in place. I would suggest today, guys, again, just for those that are just joining us, we're looking for long range shorts. Guys, I think if the sellers take control, and I'll show you why in a second. If the sellers take control, it's going to be quite incredible. So again, if we do get a push up, guys, I want you to watch for a higher high on the US 60-minute charts, because we're going to get an incredible swing trigger short on the 60-minute charts. It looks like they're going, as it looks like they're going with us or without us, which is fine. We'll catch up with them as we roll through. So that 4-hour long, guys, the 4-hour long is actually not holding. Okay, so that means we are in a really, really cranky short territory. And that's okay. That's okay. We actually quite like that. Now, speaking of that, I'm looking at my 60-minute charts. Let's look at my 60-minute charts. Those 4-hour Fibonacci's that we've just drawn on, guys, are also the 60-minute chart Fibonacci's. Okay, so they're also both of them. So therefore, we're in for an interesting ride. There is no doubt about that. Now, for the FDAX traders, please note, guys, that when I started the session getting ready today, the FDAX was not far from its all-time high. As literally logged in to talk to Arlen, guys, we've actually punched a brand new all-time high on the the European markets. So FESX has not done that yet, guys. The FESX has got gaps to close to the downside. So what I would love to see on the FDAX is an early and quite powerful buy signal that pushes us back up to the R1. We're probably going to get caught at the R1 or that 161.8 extension, which we've already been caught at before. And we're going to be using, for those that are not familiar with what we're doing, we're going to be using the red diamond delta here, the red diamond over here on the right-hand side. That is a V2 delta. It's very, very good at hunting banks. We're going to be using that, guys. If the buyers push up and fail on the open of the European market, we're going to be using these sell signals to actually grab them and pull them on the way back down again. Okay, now, if we do go much further, guys, if we do go much further down on the FDAX, we're at a very, very strong sell point in the market. Now, please do note, guys, that today's low, which is sitting right here, is what we refer to as a dirty daily short. So if the buyers don't grab this and run, guys, we're going to trigger a dirty short. What does that mean? They're going to try and run down and close the gap. The FDAX and the FESX both have to close the gap. It's a mathematical impossibility that they don't close the gap. Now, they don't have to close it today, guys. They don't have to close it today, but at some point in time they will. It is highly likely they will try and close that today. Again, as we get a little bit more detail, guys, 205, so literally the price level here at 205 is a 60-minute chart static bar reversal short. Okay, now again, a couple more price levels here. 224 is a 60-minute sell point as well. So what we've actually got is we've got multiple larger chart sell points sitting below the FDAX. So if we do get an initial buy that turns around and fails, guys, we're going to get a very, very powerful short, or they might just tank the market straight away, guys. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. What we do have to be aware of, guys, these two very, very awesome little resistance levels here. That's the 141.4 and the 133 extension off the daily chart. The FDAX loves these levels. If the FDAX was to really fly, guys, today, it's going to hunt the 161.8 fib extension. It tried to get there, guys. It tried to get there, and then we got this beautiful short. Guys, an incredible static bar reversal. Many of you can see SBR written over the top of that candle. It's an incredible -26 rated signal. So again, if the buyers push back up near that R1, guys, we get above that SBR entry point. Just to highlight, guys, it's 359. Might as well call it 360. If we get above 360, guys, on the opening candle, you are picking up an incredible short and 360. Okay, now, again, Louis, plus 13 times 4, plus 15 times 2. You are belting this S&P 500, mate, so well done. Now, larger charts, guys, FESX, less than 5 minutes to go. Guys, less than 5 minutes to go, so please ensure you've got the right accounts loaded. Guys, you've got the right ATMs loaded. Again, the volatility is climbing quite quickly, so we're going to have to be very, very switched on regarding risk. Guys, on the weekly chart here, you can see the buyers are pushing up. Now, as we predicted at the start of the week, which is very important, guys, the buyers are failing at the 233 fib extension on the weekly chart. If these buyers fail much more, guys, we've got big gaps to close to the downside. So if these buyers decide to tank, or if the buyers push up at the open, it'll be really good fun. If we then tank, guys, it could go a long way. So once again, we go back to that synopsis. Long range shorts, guys, long range shorts, short range longs. How's that going to change? Guys, how's that going to change? If we get all 3 or 4 markets all doing the same thing at the same time, like all basically going into extreme volume and reversing, guys, then I'm going to tell you guys go for long range, long targets. So it's probably going to be one of those days which sort of flip-flops around a little bit. On the daily chart, guys, the most important thing to note, we've got 3 danger candles here on the daily chart. If these guys do want to get a sell on, guys, if they sell, it's going to be pretty rugged. It's going to be pretty rugged. Now, the danger chart for this session, guys, is the 4-hour chart. So the danger chart is the 4-hour chart. At this stage, we don't have an opposing 4-hour short, okay, unless they sell hard. As if we get anywhere near 5523, all it means, guys, is our call. Let me just put this here. We're just going to put powerful short. Okay, now the reason I mentioned that, let me just turn off this aircon here. It's starting to get a little bit tropical. It's very, very cold in Japan. Today, outside, I think it says 9 degrees, but it's the real feel around about 3 degrees. We've got this beautiful mountain wind blowing off the snow. The reason I mention this, ladies and gents, is if these guys do sell down, if we get to the powerful short, it basically means we're not going to take longs. We're not going to take buying signals on any market unless there's a pivot. Guys, so it's, again, if these guys decide they want to tank the markets, then that's okay. We're just going to use pivot-based reversals. We're also going to use what we refer to, guys, as dual market confirmation. So if you are on the NASDAQ, we'll be looking for matching signals on the S&P and the NASDAQ in order to get you into safe trades. Guys, it's all about safe trades. For the FESX, ditto, we'll be using dual market confirmation. Okay, really, really quite important. Down to the 60s, guys, again, yeah, very... I've written here very, very high potential for selling today. There is no question about that. So as, again, for the FDAX traders, watch for an initial buy in the market. If they push up towards the R1, they will have stolen the stair step. Then we're looking for a classic 141.4 extension, 133 extension, or that price level and those red SBRs already, sorry, the red deltas I've already spoken about. 15-minute chart, guys, we're looking for a swing trigger, and at this stage we don't have one. Don't be surprised at all if the Europeans buy first. Guys, don't be surprised if they buy first before selling. Okay, now 44 seconds to go. Just a reminder, guys, if I can, high impact European news. Guys, we don't know when it's coming. Guys, there's high impact. Everybody's panicking in Europe, so there's some high impact news coming through. We don't know when that's going to be. The scheduled news is 10:15 p.m. tonight. There's US news at 10:30 p.m. tonight. As the last 3 days have been absolutely ballistic. So if you want to check out what we've been doing, jump on the YouTube channel. And that's Samurai Day Trading, guys. Very, very easy to find. All right, 13 seconds till the gun goes. Focus will be pretty heavily, guys, pretty heavily on FDAX for the first 3 to 4 minutes. We'll see what the FDAX does. Guys, that's going to set a barometer for basically everybody. Okay, so the FDAX is cruising down. All right, for the FDAX traders, guys, okay, they're cruising through these big sell points. Holy moly, if you guys are short, okay, when I said to go short, guys, up here at 23355, that's now 120 points into profit. Now, at this stage, as we are picking up a buy signal, guys, over the top of the yesterday's high. So we are picking up a buy signal over the top of yesterday's high. As now the deal with the buy signal, what's the deal with the buy signal is if you can hold the risk on the trade. Yeah, I'm just entering that trade myself. Guys, your entry is just over the top of yesterday's high, guys, around about 66 or 67. If you've already taken that trade, it's already triggered your risk control and first target. NASDAQ traders, you are looking for a delta buy signal, guys. You've got one on your screen at 525.75. That is if you trade the opening candle and you trade off the previous pivot, which is a very, very powerful level. And guess what, guys? We spoke about dual market confirmation. That's exactly what we're getting. So FDAX traders, if you have gone long, guys, if you have gone long, it's already triggered your risk control and first targets. Right? We're now looking for the sellers to move down again. As we're now looking for the sellers to move down again. Yeah, Mark, exactly right, mate. Exactly right. So Nazi traders, guys, if you can hold the risk, you've got a buying delta there, guys, at 525.75. I would prefer a black diamond delta. Well, that would be more fun. The flip side of that, if we sell down through the previous pivot, then we get a black diamond, guys. Even the beginner traders can take that one, guys. It should move very, very quickly. Guys, very, very quickly in your favor. Now, guys, we've gone climactic. No question about that at all. I'm going to get rid of a Fibonacci extension on FDAX. We don't need that because they haven't actually traded the market back up. For the FDAX, well done, everybody. If you're pumping, that's a huge trade, 306, mate. Well done. The FDAX, guys, is setting up the long again at 66. So if you're going to go long at 66, your first target, guys, is 71. Second target is 76. You're already through your second target. So if you did wait for the extra push down, guys, you've gone long over the top of yesterday's high. If you're doing that, guys and girls, then hold on to that trade, please, for long range targets. NASDAQ traders who've gone long on the delta, as I suggested, guys, your risk control point on that trade is going to be 20 ticks. So I'm going to put a box on the chart for you here. So the moment we touch the top of the box, I would suggest you cut your risk off, guys. We're going to go for a long range, long going back the other way if these shorts are failing. Okay, now just watch that box very closely. Right. NASDAQ traders, if you're long on the delta, you through your 20 tick target, please. You're going to reduce your risk on the trade in case they do that. Okay, so if you're brand new to trading, guys and girls, just literally hit that price level for 20 ticks. That's gone way beyond a 20 tick target. FDAX, that black diamond delta is exactly what I'm looking for. The risk is a little bit too much for most traders. Guys, the risk is a little bit too much. If you can go long on the FDAX at 284, guys, you've already gone through your first target. NASDAQ traders, if you've gone long for 20 ticks, you're in a great spot. Those black diamond deltas are valid long trades. And so if you're going to go long on the NASDAQ on the black diamond deltas, you've gone through your first target already. Please go for long range longs, guys. Long range longs. Please, 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 please. FDAXs at this point in time, guys and girls, at this point in time, I've picked up this trade here off yesterday's high on my own personal account. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's gone quite well. Suffice to say, we've got people long, guys, on the NASDAQ, on the delta, on the black diamond, and the black diamond, and the black diamond. We're not going to take any more black diamonds on that candle. Guys, but worst case scenario, you're in one of those trades and you are cruising to profit. Guys, cruising to profit. This is the delta, guys, that I was talking about, hunting institutional orders. Wow, FDAX, if you are long on that black diamond delta, guys, if you're long on this one, there's going to be some very big FDAX profits today. Very big profits, which is really good fun. All right, well done. All right, so we're bopping along, guys. Good. So, guys, as you scale out of your trades, are you okay? What stop out at what? Sorry, just checking with my. Sorry. Good. Okay, so Akito, guys. So Akito is on this delta here. Whoops. Akito is on this delta here for a profitable trade, which is fantastic. All right, now. Again, for those that don't trade the opening candle, as NASDAQ traders, again, we're going to wait for the sellers to show again. That is a valid static bar reversal long. S&P 500, you've got a valid SBR long as well. For the NASDAQ traders, your risk is a little bit too high. Terrence, that is a huge result, mate. Well done. You're running away. So NASI traders, once again, valid static bar reversal long, please. If you are going to go long, guys, 20 tick first target, please. And you're going to try and let your profits run. Again, so the SBR, there is your entry and your first target. You're not quite at your first target, guys, but the risk on that trade is significantly more than the delta trades. All right? Now, you've got no counter Fibonacci. S&P 500 traders, your static bar reversal, guys, your entry is 827. Now, all the S&P 500 traders know that. Louis, great trade, mate. Well done. Go through that static bar reversal. We'll go through its 20 tick target very easily. Very, very easily. You guys are around. If you're long on the NASDAQ, SBR long, 20 tick first target, cut your risk, guys, and see if we get a runner. Look at the FDAX. Do I have any big, am I, Rob? Sorry, I'm talking too loud, mate. That's why. Do I have any big FDAX traders who are long for long range targets, please? Nathan. That is going to be a huge trade. Okay, so well done. So Nathan is long, guys, of yesterday's high. An absolutely magic trade. That's going to be massive. Now, for the NASI traders, guys, if you've taken the static bar reversal long, if you've taken the SBR long, you've gone through your targets. Okay, now flip side being, is if you've taken that black diamond long, you've gone through your targets. If you took this one, guys, if you took this little one long down here, guys, that delta there, you've gone through your targets as well. All right, so we're off to a reasonable start. Guys, for the S&P 500 traders, the static bar reversal was an absolute no-brainer. For the slightly more advanced traders, again, you've got a previous pivot reversal. As we said at the start of the session, we're looking for dual market signals. Can everybody see we've got an S&P 500 and NASDAQ in perfect synergy with each other? So that was a walk in the park for S&P and NASDAQ traders. Okay, walk in the park. Now, for the DAX traders, you guys are off to a good start as well. Guess what they've just done? They've just come up and picked up that static bar reversal I was talking about earlier. What I'm going to do for the DAX traders is I'm going to wait for the buyers to steal the stair step, and then we're going to probably pick up a flurry of shorts. We want to be short. Look at this on the, oh, dearie me. We want to be short on the FDAX, guys, once the buyers run out of steam. So, Nath, you know how to handle your trades, mate. If again, if we close back under the 50 fib here, if we close back under the 50 fib, we may be loading shorts on the FDAX. Okay, so therefore Nathan's going to control his risk. Mate, you know how to do that. I know you are brilliant. But Carlin, how are you? Black Delta, 16 times 4, 23 times 4. Beautiful trading. Okay, good. So for the Nazi, guys, you've had, depending on how you trade, guys, slightly advanced down the bottom here, ridiculously easy black diamond here. Even the black diamond has gone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It's gone more than 90 ticks. Guys, now our daily KPI is 20. Our daily KPI is 20. Guys, therefore, some of you are probably way over KPI. Carlene, sorry, I saw Carlin. That's it. Yes, Mark, we got swing trigger short coming. Absolutely correct. So guys, if we get a static bar reversal like this, incredible signal. If we get an SBR long, okay, so you see the indicators are telling me it's a -4 rated SBR. If we then don't get a very strong buying candle, the markets are about to swing short. Now for the Nazi traders, guys, the enemy to your swing short is the 50 fib of the micro trend, which runs from the bottom of that candle to the top of that candle. If you close under that level, guys, you're picking up a swing short. Now, do not trade a swing trigger, guys, unless you normally trade swing triggers. All right? Don't let me romance you into trading a swing trigger. Flip side, if we close over the 50 fib in 1 second, which we have, you're not allowed to go short, guys. You're looking for another long, please. Now, again, if we were to sell down a little bit, guys, can everybody see those 3 black diamond deltas there? If we even sold a whisker down, they're all still valid. Guys, all of them are valid. Look at it go. All right. So they're all valid, guys. They're all valid. Now, interesting point and a great lesson. Professional traders cannot sell down through that level. So what are they doing? They're buying again on the deltas. Okay, they're buying the same thing again. ES closed under the micro 50. Okay, mate, did they close under and then gap on? Did they close under then gap on? Let me just have a quick look. So Fibonacci up, guys, catch them on the way down. What have they done? They've closed under and then tried to gap. Okay, so what it means is the long trades, guys, on NASDAQ, again, are not going to be long range targets. All right, so what do we do? Oh, here they come. All right, so now we've got a lower low on the NASDAQ. Guys, we want a lower low on the S&P 500, which we've got. So now for the NASDAQ traders that can hold the risk, for the Nazi trade, dearie me. Guys, that static bar reversal I was talking about before with an entry of 358, it's just triggered again. Now, again, I didn't call that on the FTX, guys. I just spoke about it saying, hey, if we get up to these levels and fail, it's looking amazing. So if you have gone short, you've read the market very well. Your Fibonacci, guys, at this stage on FTX, it looks like they're starting to play a bit of a small game, guys. So that would be your Fibonacci there. Okay, so slightly smaller game than what we were playing before. Now, okay, Nazi, guys, we've got the potential for a previous pivot reversal here. You have got a lower low. It is a pivot-based trade. If you have gone long off the pivot, guys, you must use tight ATMs, please. The reason being is we've got the S&P 500 now trying to sell below its previous pivot. We don't want the NASDAQ to collapse through this pivot. Okay, we don't want that to occur. So what does it ultimately mean? Guys, there is a valid trade on the previous pivot, but you must have a tight ATM, because what we don't want is the NASDAQ to produce a massive selling candle. Otherwise, everything is going to tumble. Now, again, For the professional traders out there, you know how to deal with this. You've got a lower low, guys, so you would be looking for a lot. Now, that's if you trade off pivots, guys. We're approaching the last 90 seconds of the candle. If you trade off a pivot, guys, if you trade off a pivot, no, they're cruising, guys. So just be careful. Note the disagreement, guys, between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Right, the disagreement is the NASDAQ is trying to bounce off the previous pivot. The S&P 500 is already well through the pivot. Okay, so these guys are very, very cranky. FDAX at this stage, I'm looking for the buyers, guys, to go just a little bit higher, and then all of these selling deltas, particularly that one there, is absolutely stunning if these guys can push up a little bit higher. For the Nazi traders, again, for the beginner traders, and well done, mate, well done. For the beginner traders, because the market has just gone up to almost 150 tick volatility over here, almost 150, what we're going to do is we're going to once again start to look for static entries for you guys. Okay, now a static entry will be FDAX. We're looking at an R1 reversal, guys. It could be sneaking. It could be sneaking through any second, so just keep an eye on that one. What we're looking for, guys and girls, is we're looking for this candle to close. We want to know how strong the sellers are and where they're going to fail before we look at taking a trade going back the other way. Now, at this stage, our risk control point was 20. Guys, that's defined by volatility. We're going to probably push our risk control point out to 30. Okay, Mark. Okay. Now, again, guys and girls, again, if you understand the mathematics of the market, see these black diamonds coming back the other way. This is the instos saying the sellers have sold down to a key level and failed. So how are we going to deal with these particular trades? Guys, those three black diamonds there as a delta style trade. Wow, here we go. FDAX is off and racing. We're basically going to wait for this current candle to close. Then we want the sellers to push down below these black diamond entry points. And then we want to go long. At this stage, we can't go long over the top of the previous pivot on NASDAQ because the S&P is below its pivot. All right, so what we need is the NASDAQ traders are going to start to be very, very patient now. Let's be very, very patient because we are starting to get into slightly higher risk. Yeah, okay, that's the problem. Rob, you picked up 41 on the NQ on the green delta coming back the other way. I mean, very, very well traded. Very well traded. In a perfect world, guys, in a perfect world, both the S&P and NASDAQ will try and sell down. The S&P traders will be able to pick up that green delta there. If we do sell down, guys, on the NASDAQ, we want to try and get the lower deltas. Right? So if we do sell down, these deltas here are fine. Some of you have already taken the deltas long. If you know what you're doing, guys and girls, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just please control your risk. Andy, you got plus 60. Well done, mate. It's a beautiful trade. So well done, well done, well done. For the FDAX traders, we picked the long range long, guys. We said earlier it's long range long and short range shorts. We've actually picked the FDAX long range longs very, very well. Guys, now what does it mean? We at this stage, we are looking for static entries on the FDAX. We're going to let the candles close. The reason, guys, the reason I say that, the FESX is a very, very long way from getting back to the top of the charts. The FDAX is about to hit its all-time high, guys, and right off we go, all-time highs. So what I would suggest at this point for the FDAX traders, we're going to wait for ratio-based signals. Right? So we're going to wait for the candle to close, and then we're going to trade, unless we get dual market agreement, and then we're going to assess. What we don't want to do is get on the wrong side of the FDAX, guys, because it's going to be very, very nasty. All right, so we're going to wait for the market to close. It could mean we're going to be very risk averse today, guys, but that's okay. We've been doing that all week with the volatility, and it's gone very well. Now, for the Nazi traders, we never got the sell down that we wanted. Do I have anybody that knows what they're doing? Guys, any experienced traders that are long on those three deltas there? Michael, you've gone long on the FDAX on the delta. Well done. Okay, absolutely brilliant. Fantastic trade. Ken, you've got a 21 times 2, 51 times 1 off the first buying delta on the way back up. Okay, well done. All right, so again, some of you have actually grabbed Some of you have grabbed these two little buying deltas there, okay, which is brilliant. Some of you prefer the blacks. You've gone there, and that's obviously gone ballistic to the high side, guys. There's no question about that. So wait for this candle to close, lower low on NQ, but never came. Yeah, Raymond, that's okay, mate. Be patient. The markets are very volatile. The last thing you want to do is just push the button for the sake of pushing the button, because you think you're missing out. You get stopped out on a shitty trade, and then it turns around and produces a beautiful trade. But because you're in a bad mood, you miss the really good trade because you got romanced by the markets. We do not want to play that game. We do not want to play that game. So FDAX is all-time high. This is the highest the FDAX has ever been. Again, there's nothing stopping the FDAX continuing to go higher and higher. So we're going to have to wait for these guys to fail. Is what we're looking for at this stage for the FDAX is we're looking for big, strong, efficient buying candles. So we will have the strength indicator tell us, guys, like this candle just here. That's the reason MJ went long on that delta, guys, on FDAX. It's outside the range of a very, very strong candle. So again, an absolutely beautiful trade if you can hold the risk on it. Beautiful trade. Now we're waiting for these buyers to run out of steam, guys, and then we're looking for shorts on the markets. Now, wow, if you are long on NASDAQ, guys, do I have anyone long on NASDAQ for long range targets? Remy, you got plus 50 off the first black delta. Well done, mate. Absolutely brilliant. We are reversing beautifully. So what it means is it looks like the 4 hour short, may have failed to hold on the US markets. Now, speaking of that, guys, we're going to get volume fatigue. What does it mean? The sellers on the S&P 500 have completely run out of steam. The sellers on the S&P 500 30-minute chart are about to create an absolutely stunning reversal. The NASDAQ is even more stunning. The NASDAQ is even more stunning as a reversal long. So what it ultimately means, if we get a valid, safe buying signal for the junior traders on the NASDAQ, a valid, safe signal, we're going to try and hold those. Trades for as long as we can. Now, the FDAX is running out of steam to the high side. As we are running out of steam to the high side at this stage, we're just going to be really, really careful, guys. I don't want to sound like the fun police, but we've actually got off to a really profitable start. Okay, the markets are volatile, and that's awesome. We'll just let them be volatile. For the FDAX traders, we've failed. We even said this. Remember I wrote the key levels on the FDAX? We said, look, there's key levels here. The 161.8 is one of those key levels. So much so that these guys have come up here and bounced down. If you get a V2 delta, guys, if you get a red diamond short on the FDAX, once they close back under the pre-market top, we're going to set up a beautiful short, guys. At the moment, you can't go short, please. At the moment, you can't go short. NASDAQ traders, you can go long above the previous pivot. Your entry point, guys, is that black diamond delta just there, plus a tick or two. So 513, you are potentially picking up a very, very good signal. Guys, that'll be at 513. Now, the risk on that trade, guys, is around about 70 to 80 ticks. So what we're going to do, guys, if you're going short at 513, long at 513, guys, your target and risk control point is 17.50. So 17.50. I'm just waiting to see what they're doing. Okay, I'm going to put a line on the screen at 17.50 so everyone can see. Boom. Straight through your risk control point and first target, please, guys. If you're long on the NASDAQ, guys, at 513, you're through your first target. You've cut your risk off. You have no risk on this trade. Guys, I would like you to go for a 40 to 50 tick target, please, and try and put yourself well over KPI. You have no risk on this trade, please. No risk on this trade. Again, if they're not going to bounce now, guys, we're going to get a really nasty move against us. A 20 tick or 30 tick first target, guys, is absolutely hilarious. Guys, again, what I want you to do, 20 tick first target, cut your risk, let your profit run. If it doesn't run, it doesn't matter. Guys, if it doesn't run, 20 ticks is our KPI. Now, Akito's just grabbed another 20. Oh, sayonara. Okay, can you come over here and say sayonara to everybody? Come on. So, oh, no, I'm being told, go away. Go away, husband. So, guys, my trading partner has literally just left. she's two times her daily KPI, and I know that I might rant on this. Because once you're over your daily KPI, please stop trading. Please stop trading. So guys, so Keto is very, very happy with her performance. She's run away, guys, so that's all right. I'll just navigate by myself. Not that we haven't been here before. So Nazi traders, guys, you've gone through your 20 tick target multiple times, please. So now for the experienced traders, guys, you might be trying to hold this through to the close of the 30-minute candles to lock in those 30-minute SPRs. Guys, now again, you can control your risk as you see fit. Guys, for the junior traders, if you've gone long, it's gone 20, 30, even 40 ticks in our favor. I take 20, cut my risk off. If it doesn't want to run, it doesn't matter. We'll just hit it again and again and again until we're 45 minutes into the session. Cole, it's Shelton 20 and 30 ATMs. Well done. It's fine, mate. So, guys, MJ is saying that he had his risk behind the candle. Absolutely perfect because you've got an extension that's matching there. Mate, also, that's the 23 fib of the dominant candle. Therefore, you've traded off the 23 fib, which is brilliant. Now, FDAX traders, guys, buyers own the stair step. We're looking for shorts. All right. Now, again, we can't trade these red ones until they close underneath the previous pivot. Cole, you'd be very glad you had an ATM on now, mate. That's why we use them. Yeah. All right. Oh, FDAX, don't go without us, sweetheart. Come on, come back, please. So FDAX traders, we want the buyers to push back up. Guys, we want the buyers to push back up. They're probably not going to, but that's okay. Let them sneak in a little bit, guys. We've already had some really good trades. Just let these guys sneak in. Ooh, Nasdaq's below its S&P's below its previous pivot. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we have to be a little bit careful on Nasdaq. I'm very, very glad we use risk control points. Guys, that's become a really, really powerful pursuit. That one, guys, it's such a no-brainer. Early first target, let your profit run. If it doesn't run, you can't lose any money. It doesn't matter. We'll just wait for the next trade. Now, at this stage, I'm looking for dual Fibonacci failure on both American markets before I send you long again. Right, so we're starting to become very, very careful. For the FDAX, sorry, I took my eye off the FDAX. We've got that Delta V2 short. Again, if you waited for the retrace, the buyers showed, then you took the V2 short. As the entry is 398, it's already gone way beyond its first and second target and risk control point. So if you are an FDAX trader, guys, you waited for the retrace, you waited for the rejection, you took the V2 Delta short, then incredible. All I wanted is the buyers to show. They've shown. The Delta's triggered. Guys, a shout out to Tim. We might have Tim back in the LTR with us today. Guys, Tim's done an incredible amount of work on those Deltas. Now, as I say that, guys, can everybody see on the NASDAQ? We've failed at the 76s, which means the triple black diamonds are back on again. Now, if you are going to trade, guys, any of these black diamonds, you must use a tight risk control point, please. So black line coming on the screen. Guys, if you're in the lower delta, that black line is your risk control point. What I want is the S&P 500 to tag that 76 fib and fail. Guys, that's what I'm looking for. Now, the flip side of that, for those that are waiting for the candle to close, you're waiting 2 minutes and 54 seconds for the candle to close, then you're taking the trade. Advanced traders are saying, you know what, Lockie, I can see these guys are struggling at these 76s. I'll think about the trade, but please be aware, guys, again, we're not burning volume on this NASDAQ. Right? These sellers are quite strong. So you would want to see 2 or 3 really strong pushes down before you say, I'm going to back that delta. All right. Looks like we've had 2 really good pushes down now. You want these sellers to run out of steam. All right. You want the sellers to run out of steam. Do I have any FDAX traders short, guys, on that Delta V2? Is anybody short after the buyers showed and took the short? Yes, well done. Good, good, good. Tim, you're here, mate. Welcome back. Great to have you back in, mate. Tim is short on the V2. Holy moly. Ah, dearie me. If you're short there, guys and girls, algorithmically perfect trade. Mathematically perfect. Okay. No, the 88.6 Fibonacci failure here, guys, on the NASDAQ. Okay, now that's going to fuel a number of people to put their orders on at just over the top of those 76s, guys, around about the 488.00 mark. Now, if you are going to do that, guys, again, the experienced traders, happy for you to put the trade on. The beginner traders, I don't want you entering in the last 90 seconds of the candle, please. When you just crossed into the last 90 seconds. So we're waiting for a static entry for the beginner traders. The advanced traders are like, I'm in already. Oh, boom, off we go. There's a black diamond to take you guys well beyond a profit target over the top of those 76s. As you might have entered on the 3 black diamonds on the left-hand side. If you have, don't forget your risk control point, please. You are through your first target and risk control point on the triple diamond over here, guys, on the left-hand side. Okay, now that's all I can call it because it's faster to say diamond than it is to say anything else. If you guys are long, guys, on that triple there, you through your first target, through your risk control point, cut your risk, guys, let the profit run. Remy plus 50 off the 90%. Well done. Did any trader, guys, go long over the top of the 76s after we failed at the 88.6? Did anybody do that? Oh, Rob, 41. Ooh-wee. All right. Today is going to go down in history as a pretty good one. Nice, pretty good one. So I've got traders long off the 88.6. I've got traders long off the 76s. I've got traders long on the triples. And I've got traders long on the S&P 500 over the 76s. Guys, in cahoots with the NASDAQ. I've also got FDAX traders short on the V2 Delta. And it's gone, guys, the V2's gone 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, almost 30 points to the downside. So what we need, guys, so again, please, early first targets, let your profit run, cut your risk off. Again, these guys could tumble now. They could tumble. So again, your ATMs are your best friends. Rob, awesome. What did Shelton get? What did Shelton get? Plus 5, 10, and 21 on the DAX. Wow, mate. Wow, wow, wow. Shelton. It's looking really good, mate. Looking really good. Now, can you believe, guys, we are only 30 minutes into this trading session. You wonder why I run out of steam by Friday. And I've picked up a beautiful trade, guys. I'm nicely profitable. I picked up that opening candle reversal on FDAX. Again, I got ATM'd on my long range target. Guys, I'm happy with that. My job is to run the LTR, and I've got many opportunities to trade outside the LTR. Remy, you got your second target plus 100 off the 90s. That's a huge trade, right? Huge trade. I've got no new entries, guys. I've got no new entries on the NASDAQ long, please. So no new entries long because we're into the previous pivot. Brings up a great point, guys. I had a guy on YouTube. Guys, really, really, really important point. A guy on YouTube, guys, was comparing his pivots to my pivots, saying, Lockie, your pivots are completely different to mine. This is ridiculous. Yours work, mine don't. What's the difference? Guys, please be advised. And again, I don't want to sound like a tosser, but we are using custom design pivots that were designed by the banks for the banks. So we're using bank pivots. We're not using mum and dad pivots. Now, some people go, oh, yeah, they're all the same. Guys, they're not the same. There's 4 different pivot algorithms that are out there in the world. We are actually using the pivots used by Macquarie Bank in Sydney, and they are stunningly accurate. For example, the NASDAQ sold down and failed at the previous pivot. The S&P sold down and failed at the previous pivot. So again, I don't want to sound silly, but if you've got the wrong pivots on your charts, you can't trade pivot-based reversals because the information you've got on your charts is incorrect. Now that probably for the converted, you're probably going, well, of course, Lockie, you know, it's pretty straightforward, right? It is, guys, but be amazed at the number of people that use the wrong pivots and wonder why their trading doesn't work well. Well, that's why they're using the wrong pivots. Okay, so what have we got, guys? For the FTX traders, the buyers own the stair step. Okay, buyers own the stair step. So we are looking for selling-based reversals. Okay, looking for selling-based reversals. We are going to need some Fibonacci to help us here. So I'm going to draw a Fibonacci down, guys, to catch them on the way up. Okay, so again, please make sure your Fibonacci's around the right way, guys. Fibonacci is not palindromic. Okay, 808 is a palindromic number. It reads front and backwards the same. Fibonacci does not read the same. Shelton, more than double your KPI on both accounts. That's a very good time to run away. Very good time to run away. So well done. For the Nazi traders, FTX traders, at this point in time, again, we're waiting for this candle to close. 1 minute and 27 seconds. I'm targeting these deltas here, guys. We're not going to trade them now. We're just going to wait for this candle to count down. And then we can rock and roll from there. Yeah, awesome trading, Shelton, mate. Really exciting to see. We'll try and get you to do that for 3 to 5 years, Shelton, slowly building up contracts and building up accounts. And mate, it is a financial game changer, as many of you can probably attest to. Yeah, well, why not, mate? Why not? We're here for a while. I'm getting some smart ass text messages, guys, as we trade. I hope you don't mind the expression. Suffice to say, there are some people out there in the world who are massive results today, and they're sending me private messages, guys, saying, "Oh my God, Lockie, thank you so much. This is ridiculous." Louis, I just got your message, right? Yeah, well, correct, mate. Correct. All right, so again, no new trades, guys. No new trades on the NASDAQ. So the only trade is at this point in time, no new trades. Those people that are managing the 76 Fibonacci reversal, if you've managed that trade, you guys have gone more than 100 ticks into profit now. So again, everybody knows how to handle that. That's $500 US into profit. We don't need the risk control line anymore. Let's, again, just be careful, guys. We've had a shotgun start, which is really good fun. And the FTX has just gone high enough, guys, to pick up that higher red delta. So just confirming for the FTX traders, guys, you're short at 419. Guys, you're short at 419 as per the top red delta. Guys, your first target is 414. Second target is 409. You guys have actually gone to your third target within a whisker. Guys, so what I was looking for is these guys to push up, fail at the pre-top, come back down and pick up that delta, which they've done. As now I'm looking for a higher high on the FTX. Guys, well done, everyone. Family time. Louis, well done, mate. Well done. I'll get you on the phone tomorrow, mate. Yeah, huge trade today, mate. Well done. So family time, guys, critically important when you finish trading. Don't just sit in front and watch the candlesticks. They might romance you into taking another trade. There's our higher high on FTX. So at this stage, the FTX traders, you're picking up a pre-top reversal. If that's your trading plan, I'd suggest an entry of 426, guys, provided they don't go too high. So just, again, we're looking for a sell order, guys, at 426. If they go too high, guys, we're looking for, okay, let them go. Risk is now too high. Risk is too high. Let them go. Okay, so we're now back into a potential R2 reversal here. Okay, no new trades on the American markets, guys. We're 35 minutes in. Again, S&P 500, you guys know what you're doing, right? So the S&P, you guys picked up the same trade we got on the S&P. You picked it up on the NASDAQ. Again, Johnny Melville, did you get that one, mate? Are you with us today? Johnny M, are you with us today? If you did, mate, you've traded very well. Greg, are you long? Are you long on long range targets? I can see your messages coming through. I've got quite a few messages coming through, guys, saying thank you or well done. So MJ plus 50 on the DAX in sim. Okay, well done, mate. That's a massive trade. You took the delta long. Okay, well done, mate. No, that's fantastic. Mate, 50 points on FTAX is an insanely big target. Okay, now, very interesting price movement here, guys. The reason being is, again, we know when we borrow that arrow, we know the FTAX loves to fail at the 161.8 extension. We may get a selling delta here. Now, if you can hold around 25 points of risk, as the FTAX may be producing a selling delta. Yeah. Well, the beauty, guys, the reason we're shying away from the Nasdaq now is that if it can't actually get back above its previous pivot, as much as the sellers own the stair step, so we're not taking a selling based reversal. If these sellers do sell off the previous pivot, guys, and give us a big efficient candle, so if that's the strength indicator above the candle saying these guys are in control, then both the American markets will tank. That's the delta, guys, on FTAX. If you need a trade on FTAX at 440, as FTAX traders, if you need a trade, your entry is 440. First target is 435. Again, we're waiting for that exact V2 delta combination there, guys. It's V1, V2 combined, which is hilarious. So you're short at 440, please. First target is 435. Second target is 430. Third target is 425. Okay, you're just kissing that third target. So, guys, again, once you threw your first target on FTAX, please control your risk on all your... Okay, they don't want to run this time. So again, guys, we were literally waiting for the fail at that 161.8 extension. It produced a V2 delta at 440, and it went almost to its third target, and then they've come back the other way. Mate, I've got a meeting, MJ. I've got a meeting with them tonight, so I'll get an answer. I'll get an answer, easy peasy. So guys, again, FTAX traders, you might be getting to the point where you're getting a little bit fatigued. You guys have had a very, very fast session, again, it's been good. It's been good. And again, the trade of the day for the FTAXs was again that black diamond. It's that one there. That one was the trade of the day. And for those that missed that, the higher black diamond there. Ridiculous. Even if you waited for the opening candle to close and then took the trade, it just rocketed. So I'd suggest today Nathan might have actually gone home, guys, already, but Nathan's probably had a big day. Probably had a big day. Okay, guys, this will give you an idea of how accurate the Fibonacci is. Guys, look where they failed. 161.8 extension. Perfect. Okay. We are going to sell down, guys, here because the S&P 500 has failed to buy. So has the FESX. All right, so we are going to see some selling. To trade the delta short again at 440, guys, again, I would love to see a little bit more buying, but they've decided to go anyway. Right? Oh, dear. Wow, guys, if you waited for that candle to close for the failure at the 161.8 extension, then you took the red delta short, you've just smashed your targets. I don't know if the FTAX traders need any more trades. Guys, that's just incredible to watch, Tim. Tim is with us today. Mate, if you're in on that delta, then you are having a blinder, mate. Rob, you got 100 DFR off the previous pivot NQ short, mate. Well done. Okay, well done. That's a huge trade, Rob. So you've done very well. And Rob, very excited for you, mate, because as you know, you came from the Forex camp and now you're a futures trader. And I would suggest, now I'm going to go out on a limb here, Rob, but I'm thinking your futures trading may be going better than your Forex trading. Would that be fair to say? That's a pretty loaded question, guys, but Rob is lovely, and mate, that's a big trade. That's a big trade. So I say, well done, mate. At the end of the day, mate, all we're doing is rolling with the ebb and flow of the market. Is understanding that futures cannot be manipulated by anyone. Then we stand a very high chance of running at a plus 90% success rate, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So. Now, guys, we are cruising for the last, we're about to get into the last 15 minutes. We're about to get into the last 15 minutes. No new trades on the American markets just yet. There's no new trades. Remy, oh, dearie me. Oh, dear. I didn't even call that. plus 50 short. Well done, mate. That's oh my gosh. You know, it's what I find really exciting about that is there's some people out there in the world that knock indicators. They're like, oh, the indicators, grumble, grumble, grumble. I want to trade pure price movement. It's like, well, why don't you trade pure price movement with indicators designed to complement pure price movement? Like there's a lot of people out there in the world that knock indicators. And I'm like, well, if the indicators are producing 12 to 15 super sexy trades every day, what's wrong with an indicator? I took an indicator-based trade today and I smashed my target. I ain't got a problem with indicators. I mean, why not? I'll look at this short on FDAX. You have got to be kidding. Now, we look at the Fibonacci. We spoke about this failure at the 161.8 extension. Now, some of you may have gone short on that Delta V2. If you did, you've had a great trade. If you waited for the candle to close and then took the V2, that's insanely good. And I think the FDAX traders are probably finished. Now, here we go. Nice. So no new trades at this point in time. Just let them do what they're doing. Nice. So for the American-based traders, again, guys, if you are quick, now many of you have got the deltas running on your screen, but you guys can see that buying delta that's just come across there. So the sellers have sold down, they've smashed the 50 fib, they can't go down. You guys have gone long on that delta at 477.50, as it's already through its 20 tick target. So that means you've gone for 20 ticks, you've cut your risk off so you can't lose any money. Whereas if you get a bounce and it runs, absolutely brilliant. And if it doesn't run, it doesn't matter. Okay, now, as we cruise towards the close of the candle, as the beginner traders are getting ready for a static entry, you know exactly where your entry point is. Adam, well done, mate. Yeah, Rob, it's been an awesome session. Well done to you, mate. It's so exciting to watch. Not being rude, man, but it's very exciting to watch Forex traders switch to futures trading and then actually make some money. That's actually really exciting. It makes the books that I've written on Forex trading versus futures, makes them actually quite good fun then. So it makes a big difference. Now, again, for the static bar traders, guys, we're looking for agreement from the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Okay, so again, let's have a look. So I want both of the American markets, guys. We're into the last 15 minutes, which is normally our zone of start being very careful. I want the NASDAQ, guys, for the junior traders to trade that delta. I want the NASDAQ to sell down, fail at Fibonacci, then come and pick up the delta. I want exactly the same thing on the S&P 500. So again, Fibonacci is going up, the potential turning candle. We're waiting for the sellers to sell down. We're waiting for the sellers to sell down. We're waiting for the sellers to get below our entry point, run into Fibonacci. It would be amazing if it's this one just here. Come on, off you go, please. Right. Now, the junior traders that need one more trade can put their order on at 477.50. Now, that being said, some of the slightly more advanced traders are going to be looking for the 50 fib. Just watch carefully here, guys, because if we fall through that 50 fib, the S&P's got the low of the week here. If we fall through that, it's all over, guys. We look at tumbling. FTX, you're in your last 15 minutes, so no new trades for you guys. FTX traders, you've had an absolute blinder today. You've had a blinder. All right, so at some point in time, you've just got to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done. Again, for the technocrats out there, guys, sellers own the stair step on FTX. We're looking for buying base reversals only. They've got to be off Fibonacci. That 161.8 fib extension was a dream on the FTX today. So watch the Americans very closely. For the American-based traders, we are in the last 15 minutes. These markets will become a little bit toey now, guys, a little bit toey. Again, junior traders, guys, you can go long provided you control your risk. So you've been engaged in the trade. Guys, your risk control point is 20 ticks. You're through your 20 tick first target, even for the junior traders, please. Even for the junior traders. You waited for the sell down. You waited for the retracement. Now you've gone long. You've got a V2 in complement. You guys have just smashed your junior target. Jeez, giddy up. Not that Jizz is a junior trader, guys, but I wanted to get you guys on the NASDAQ in a really, really safe trade. Safe down. Jeez. Okay, so for the junior traders or those that choose to identify as a junior trader, there's a technical trading term. You guys have gone long on the green delta. You waited for the sellers to sell down inside the new candle, waited for the Fibonacci failure. Some of the advanced traders may have picked up, guys, the 76. If you've picked that up, it's gone more than 50 ticks. If you're in, guys, on the junior, you've gone for 20 ticks and whatever you can get your hands on, please. 20s and 50s would be amazing. Tim, we've got the FESX under the 50. Yeah, these guys are, oh, look at this, guys. Look what the FESX is doing. Guess what we've got on the chart down here? All right, if we close below that level, guys, if we close below that level, then we can't reverse the markets long. Okay, if we close above it, then we're going to reverse it long. Have I got any NASDAQ traders that are long on any of these trades for long range targets, please? Oh, Keith, holy moly, man. Oh, wow. Sophia, how are you? I hope you are amazing. Sophia is long. All right, keep going. Keep going. Make Sophia a truckload of money, please. Make her a truckload of money. That would be very exciting, Sophia. So some have pinched the 76ers, guys, brilliant. Some have pinched that delta right there. So even the junior traders, guys, you had to be very, very patient and wait for your trade. But Jizz, you've been, mate, again, patient pays big dividends. Has anyone ever heard that before? Patience pays big dividends. So if I was long, Sophia, I'd have a 20 tick first target, a 50 tick second target, and I'd make sure that I'd cut all my risk off so I can't lose any money on the trade. So you might find, Sophia, a 20 tick first target or a 50 tick first target. But the moment they move around about 20 or so ticks in your favor, you can start to reduce your risk and let your profit run. Ideally, you bring your stop loss to -1 with a 50 tick target. So your risk to reward is 50 times in your favor. And what you've just done is you've blown out all of the people in the world that go 1-to-1. 1-to-1's the only way to trade. Well, 1-to-1 was the only way to trade, guys and girls, about 25 years ago. It's changed since then, right? So the understanding of how to trade has changed. I would prefer, as I said at the start, everybody uses an early first target, like $100 US. Then we use a second target, maybe around about the 50 mark. If it runs, it runs. If it doesn't matter. And we get a number of those until it flies. Until it flies. Now, again, we're in the last 15 minutes, guys. We're marching towards the Widowmaker candle. So again, what does it mean? For the NASDAQ traders who want to go long again, you must get a lower low. Right? You are going to become very, very fussy now about entering a trade. And that's because we've had a ballistic session, guys. It's been good. We don't want to taint a really good session by blowing ourselves up, guys, on a crappy trade. Now, okay, there is going to be one more trade, guys, on the NASDAQ, okay, and it's over the top of that 50 fib, right, at 471. That's the last trade we're going to get, guys. Now, again, you would have to be able to carry around about 60 ticks of risk. This is only for those people that reverse off 4-hour 50 Fibonacci's. And again, the delta is now too far away. It's carrying too much risk. So this is probably, guys, the last trade. Okay, so an entry at 471. Your risk control point, guys, is now 476. You guys are long at 471. Risk control point 476. First target 476. All right, this is the last trade of the hour, guys. So you're long at 471, please. You guys, geez. Smashed it, mate. You got paid really fast. You got paid really fast. So, guys, so entries 471, first target 476. Risk is in, guys. These guys are starting to muck around at the end of the hour. So, geez, you've belted it, mate. That's such a great trade. Well done. Well done. Well done. Again, guys, that was fast. That was fast. But again, they started to become a little bit, as I said, a little bit itchy towards the end of the day or the end of the hour. They start to become a little bit crazy. If you have had a really good trading session today, guys, please don't take a trade in 2 minutes and 47 seconds time. All right, the candle's known as a widowmaker for a reason. And we are now going to look for turn of the hour trades with really, really good structure for junior and senior traders alike. Unless, I was going to take some water on, unless you are over your daily goal, guys, and then you are not taking another trade, please. Now, who said Trump-induced volatility was a bad thing? Well, there's a lot of people out there in the world that don't like Mr. Trump, and that's okay. I tell you what he is doing, guys and girls. He's making day trading very easy. After being ATM'd, yeah, Cole, so I'd take the delta a second time. If the sellers were to sell down below the entry point and then come back through, absolutely correct. So if the sellers were to sell down and you say, right, I want that delta, pick up the delta, boom, it goes like, you know, let's say you get ATM'd at plus 10. You're like, okay, they didn't run that time. I'll wait for them to sell down back below the delta. Then I'll hit them again. As long as you're not getting into the delta a second time in the last 90 seconds of the candle. Okay, now, again, these guys are setting up for a brand new long at exactly the same price. Again, sorry, the actual price is 71. We're getting very close to the widowmaker, guys. If you are going to go long at 71, your first target and risk control point is 76. Come on, Baba. Go on, kiss 76. Go on. You know you want to. Oh, there's a black diamond. Boom. Okay, off we go again. So if you're long, guys, at 71 again, great question, Cole. If you're long at 71 again, your first target is 76. Cut your risk off. Guys, let the rest run. If it wants to, oh, look at this. You know, look at the running, guys. The running is coming in because of that diamond right there. Now, I know it's an indicator and some people don't like indicators. That's why I love indicators. I think they're hilarious. So, guys, if you are long again at 71, so again, guys, we're live on YouTube. We can't hide this. If you are long again at 71, your first target is 76. You've gone through your target. You've cut your risk off. It's not going to go any further, guys. As in, if the trade doesn't want to run, you've put another $100 US in the bank, less clearing fees. And then we just come back and we do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again. Now, in 15 seconds, guys, we're widowmaker, so we're just going to chill out. If there's any questions from anyone, guys, now is a really good time to ask them. We are going to get rid of that Fibonacci altogether. Guys, we're going to start cleaning up charts. This is the candle, guys, that you definitely do not trade in. Right, this is the candle you do not trade in. Okay, you see, they're starting to get really, really cranky. 71. All right, so I'm going to put one circle on the chart there, guys. I know we've picked up a couple of trades. Giz has done very well, mate. Very excited for you. All right, so again, it's all about that 4-hour 50 fib. I think, guys, I think the really important lesson for everybody today is we've got dual market agreement. Okay, so because it's volatile, you can't just trade the NASDAQ by itself, guys. You'll get hammered, or you can't just trade the FDAX by yourself. You'll get drilled. If you're trading it with like an entire European focus, and you're making sure that everybody's agreeing with each other. I mean, this is volatile today, guys. The PVI, or volatility on NASDAQ. Oh dear, look at this. The volatility on NASDAQ, guys, is just currently around 100. That's volatile for us. Cheers, my friend, mate. It's my pleasure, mate. I actually really enjoy what I do. Some days I miss some really good trades. Again, I missed a stunning trade yesterday, but geez, I'm profitable. I'm grinding along, I'm grinding along, guys, doing what I do. Again, I do trade when I'm not in the LTR as well, and that's also bopping along. So it's all good, guys. It's all good. Eventually, I'll have a team of moderators to run this LTR, guys, and I will supervise them, make sure they're killing it and everyone else is killing it. And we just keep going, guys. 3 to 5 years, guys, and you can completely change your financial lives. For some people, they do it a lot faster than that, but you can completely change everything. Way past KPI. Keith, well done. Well done, mate. It's very exciting. Mate, very, very exciting. Mate, are you up north at the moment? Jeff, lots more. Well done, mate. Okay, well, it's again, you'll find the volume might be right up on MNQ. Right? You find it might be right up. MJ, 4 winners, 1 loss, 100 plus in sim. Mate, that's a huge, mate, that's a huge day. So guys, we'll just let the Europeans come down. Now, please note, guys, please note that the FESX is into a very, very powerful sell. All right. So what it means is our loyalty to the buyers is now gone. Okay, mate, been home away from mines. Good way, mate. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So guys, what it ultimately means is we've been loyal to the buyers. We've been loyal to the buyers a little bit, and that's been really good fun. NASDAQ, it looks like you guys have produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winning trades in a row. Again, there's well done. I say well done. As if we start getting big selling candles on Europe and the S&P 500, we can't buy the market. We're going to be selling. Geez, go for it, mate. Go for it. Now's a good time, mate. Now's a good time. Now is a good time. On days like this, where should our ATM be? Suzanne, how are you? I hope you're fantastic. Mate, do you mean where should your stop loss be? Yeah, okay, perfect. So stop loss is always defined by where the enemy last failed. All right. So if you wanted to pick up this delta, if you wanted to pick up that delta long, for example, the green one right there, your stop would have to be below the candle. So what most traders do is they'll go for a 20 tick first target, and then they'll go for a risk offset second target. So they would have gone for 20 and 60 on that one, for example. Now this one here, again, we're going for 20 and whatever the risk offset is. But what we're doing is we're not leaving our stop loss down here. We're making sure we take money off the market early. This is going to get pretty crazy, guys. Let me tell you. So yeah, so you take money, you take money off the market early, mate. Bring your stop loss to positive. I like an ATM of touch 16, pay 4. A 20 tick first target's awesome, mate. If it runs and you get 20 and 50, awesome. Or if it runs and you get your 20 and your risk offset, awesome. If it doesn't run, it doesn't matter. And this is where a whole lot of people get tied up in the whole one-to-one argument. But see, mate, we didn't apply, and I think it's exciting, guys and girls. We didn't apply the one-to-one principle today, and we've made a crap load of money. So you get to the point where you say, all right, well, the one-to-one's a pretty old teaching. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to focus on an early first target, tight risk control, and then I'm going to let my profits run. That's what I'm going to focus on. Now, guys, there's some people out there in the world that don't like that trading style, but it gets to the point where people go, well, you know what? They're making a crap load of money. I don't, kind of doesn't matter. Kind of doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what's making the money. That's what matters. Okay. So NASDAQ, guys, you can see, again, I think the NASDAQ is probably going to cruise down to the 161.8 fib extension. That would be pretty normal. S&P 500 is going to do the same. So again, for the snipers, guys, for those that love the turn of the hour, what we're actually going to have to wait for today is for the turn to actually occur. Again, a delta right there, guys. That black delta over the top of the 141.4 fib extension is brilliant inside the new hour. Okay, not on the Widowmaker candle, inside the new hour. FDAX, wow. Okay. So at this stage, it's a sell point. We know about that. Okay, so the FDAX traders, again, if you trade dynamically, guys, you're picking up a long over the top of yesterday's high. Now, if you trade statically, which is typically the turn of the hour, you're going to wait for this candle to close. Now, that said, if you are a dynamic trader, guys, again, you've pushed through yesterday's high, you failed at the 88.6. Black diamond delta, guys, on NASDAQ. Sorry, that's where I put the arrow. If you guys have waited for the sellers to sell down and you've picked up the black diamond, again, well done, guys. You've just smashed your target, first target. FDAXs, if you can go long, guys, over yesterday's high, you've gone long as high as 68. Guys, again, your targets are 5, 10, 15, 20, or 5, and whatever you can get your hands on. That is flying, Rob. Beautiful trade. NASDAQ traders, if you were able to wait for the sellers to sell down, guys, your delta there is associated with the 141.4 fib extension. If you've gone long there, guys, it's already gone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So again, guys, the question before, Lockie, what target should I be using on NASDAQ? A new trader, guys, use a 20 and a 50 tick target. The moment it goes 20 ticks in your favor, cut the risk off, go for a 50 if you get it, guys. It's a bloody good trade. Like, oh, Ken. Okay. FDAX, do I have anyone long off yesterday's high? NASDAQ, do I have anybody long that's holding long for long range targets, please? If you are holding for long range targets, some of you have just pounded that trade, which is brilliant. As if we get back above the weekly low on this particular candle in 221, if we get above this, this is going to be incredible to watch. Incredible to watch. Okay. So at this stage, for those that are holding longer range NASDAQ expectations, guys, your target is 470 for the longer range traders, please. Now, understanding you are well over 100 ticks into profit already, guys, what you want to do is make sure you've got no risk on your long range trades, please. All right, so cut your risk off. As if you want, you can put your target up around those 76s. That's around 200 ticks. Guys, you've got one tick at risk, so your risk to reward is now 200 times in your favor. Now, mind you, I wouldn't have my stop loss at +1, guys. My stop loss would now be sitting very handsome, and we're looking to trade up here for an absolutely ballistic trade. So our entries here, guys, let me do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. It's a 240 tick target. Guys, so just under 1,000, 240. It's actually over $1,000 target if you've got one contract sitting up there. Just one contract. You've got no risk on this trade, please. So for the Nazi traders who waited for the turn of the hour, we waited for the sellers to sell down, blow themselves up on that 141.4 extension, classic NASDAQ. Classic NASDAQ. You guys are going to try and hold for a 240. But no, the sellers are running. Sorry, the buyers have just run out of steam. So what I'd suggest, guys, if you're on the NASDAQ and you're going for long range targets, at this stage, I'd probably lock in around about 100 ticks worth of profit. It's a massive trade. Guys, that's a week's KPI in one go. It's a massive trade. These guys have run out of steam. Guys, we've already got this. We've already got extreme volume warnings coming on, so they're run out of steam. You guys have nailed it today. Do I have anyone that's long for long range targets? Because I would now be locking in a very large chunk of profit, please. If you're long for long range targets, you've done really well, guys, really well. Sellers have actually sold down, guys, at the start of that candle. So you can put your stop loss now underneath the current active candle. You want them to break into a new trading range. You want new deltas, guys. You want them to run up to here. And again, your stop loss, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20. Your stop loss is at 120 ticks positive, guys. 120 positive. That's a massive trade. Okay, now if you're starting to get a bit annoyed at these buyers not breaking into a new territory, guys, give them 2 chances to break. So they're broken once. No new signals here, guys, because the risk is too high. If they push up again, guys, and they don't break, then I would literally lock in even more profit. It's a massive trade. Doesn't matter how we put it. It's a massive trade. All right, this is the second push. Guys, come on. This is the second push. Get outside the range, please. Off you go. Come on. That's the second push, guys. So that little stop loss is climbing, guys. Climbing more and more and more into profit, please. You are way beyond your one-to-one risk to reward, guys. For those that like one-to-ones, you're way beyond it. Practice the black diamonds, still feel the risk is high, the original entry. Jeff, yeah, the risk is sometimes, I mean, we've got to read it in context with the S&P 500. But you can see, mate, again, if you wait for these sellers to sell down and then you grab it as they come back through, we're basically putting our buy orders into everyone else's panic. And because the sellers have tried to sell the market down, they're panic of buy orders anyway. Now, guys, that's the second really, really strong push. Guys, so again, if we get a third push on NASDAQ and it doesn't start to climb, then please lock in even more profit. Guys, please lock in even more profit. And the NASDAQ traders, you've had a ballistic turn of the hour. Note, guys, note the beautiful synergy between the S&P and the NASDAQ today. Let's see the S&P turning off the 161.8. The NASDAQ tried to get to the 161.8, couldn't get there because it got hung up on the 141.4. Classic numbers. Classic numbers. Now, again, if this candle, it's going to be a long 2 minutes and 25 seconds. This candle closes over the top of that 61.8, guys, it's going to go for that 240 tick target. Please, 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 if you're long on NASDAQ, don't be carrying any risk. Okay, no risk, please. Massive stop loss positive, please. And we're going to wait for the next trade, guys. Now, in saying that, I don't think any DAX traders got my long, guys, over yesterday's high. I think the DAX traders are cooked. I don't think anyone got it. Cole, you've done well today. You've done well. I know you got a good target. I know you got skipped as well. I don't think anyone on FDAX got that trade. Now, if you did get that trade, guys, the FDAX was just so brilliant. Okay, well, mate, Petros, you got it. Okay, mate, well done. That's a beautiful trade. So at this stage, guys, again, look, Nazi, you're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the one we just got. So you guys are sitting at 8. Right? So NASDAQ traders, you're sitting at potentially 8 trades. Every one of them has gone to target, might be it short or long range. The reason I say this, guys, we're expecting 12 to 15 trades. All right, so you guys have got 8. FDAX has got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's another one in there somewhere. But we're already sitting at 14, guys, on NASDAQ and FDAX, and that doesn't include the S&P 500 trades. So the reason I say that, guys, we've got a quota of normally in the European Open, the markets produce a certain number of trades with a certain amount of lead-in volatility and volume, and then the market just dies. So what you've got to be very, very careful of is you don't come late to the LTR as the market dies and go, oh, there's a great trade. If we've already picked up 12 to 14 winning trades in a row, you've got to be very, very careful, guys. You don't try and literally squeeze too much juice out of the lemon. Otherwise, it's going to piss you in the eye, and that's not a lot of fun. Tim, you're over KPI, mate. Well done. Great to have you back in the LTR. Very excited to have you back, mate. Safe and sound. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Very, very good, mate. And the Delta, mate, I think the Delta was probably pretty kind to you today, Tim, which is very exciting, mate. Very, very exciting. You guys, a shout out to the US close traders. Again, some of them are with us today, some of them are not. Again, a number of traders today, guys, were going through the funding process, and they funded $50,000 accounts in one trading session today. Andy, you got 728 ticks on the last trade. Oh, that's clearly on a number of contracts, mate. Well done. Now, where's Greggles? Greggles is going to be very quiet today. Have we still got young Greg? No, he's not in the LTR. That's why he's gone quiet. But guys, Greg loves the hourly turn, particularly if the larger charts are climactic. And we've got climactic 60-minute charts, both NASDAQ and S&P 500. Guys, and that's been the fuel for what we've seen, which is really exciting. So, guys, our trade of the day, because it was so deliberate and so careful and available for everybody, I'm going to use that NASDAQ Black Diamond Delta there, guys, the one where we said, you know what, we're going to wait for them to fail. We're going to wait for the sellers inside the new hour. We're going to wait for them to sell down and fail, and then we're going to pick them up coming back the other way, because that has produced, guys, an entry for every trader. Even if you like going for 20 ticks and a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, it's gone beautifully. It's gone beautifully. Now, again, guys, you see the sellers. So the sellers still own the stair step. The sellers are selling back down, and they're getting caught, guys, at these black diamonds again. So again, how do we deal with this? Fibonacci up to catch them on the way down. It's the same drill, guys, the same drill on every trade. Okay, so now I'm a little bit late, guys, a little bit late on this one. You need the sellers to sell down and fail at key Fibonacci levels before you would put a buy entry on. Now, again, we have had a ballistic session today, guys. So we're going to start to get very, very picky with the trades we're taking. Rob, well done, mate. You've had another good trade. Well done. So guys, now we see we've got that exact 50 Fibonacci failure there. So that lower black diamond delta, guys, was going to start to get very, very picky with what we're doing. Guys, now again, you would have to have that V2 delta loaded on your screen. You can see there the market's getting really edgy, guys. We've got that unexpected news coming through at some point in time. We don't know when it's going to come through. It just said it will come through at some point in time. And guys, if you're a really, really talented trader, you know when to say, I'm done for the day, Lockie, I'll come back tomorrow. Talented, discipline, it's basically the same thing, guys. Discipline breeds talent. Okay, so again, if there's anyone that needs another trade, you guys have retraced perfectly. All right, that black diamond there gives you a very, very simple trade. Guys, the diamond above it is the backup trade. It's carrying slightly more risk. You would want to make sure, guys, that if, again, tight risk control, long range targets, guys, tight risk control, long range targets. If you're on the lower black diamond, you've gone through your target and risk control point. If you're on the higher one, guys, this is when the market starts to get a little bit unpredictable. So just let them do what they do. And this is why, guys, this is why after a really ballistic session like this is why we say, you know what, Lockie, I'm done. This is bloody brilliant. I'll come back tomorrow and do the same thing. Guys, for the pure price movement traders, you want the S&P 500 to do exactly the same thing, which it's doing. If we get a buying delta, guys, if we were to get a buying delta on the S&P 500, the NASDAQ will fly to the high side. Okay, the NASDAQ will fly. If the sellers decide they're going to take the market down, guys, we may be keeping our powder dry. Let me just have a look here. All right, just watching very, very closely. Very, very closely, please. Guys, another thing also about a 90-minute trading session is most people will fatigue after around about 45 minutes. And that's when you start to make mistakes. The market romances you into taking trades. Again, that's why in the army, guys, we only ever do instructional lessons for 45 minutes because you normally lose people after 45 minutes. They're off daydreaming about, you know, Lamborghinis and proper food and all this kind of cool stuff. So if you can get your trading done in the first 35 to 40 minutes of the opening hour, guys, then as your mind starts to fatigue, you've finished your trading anyway. Yeah, Jeff, that is funny. That is funny. All right, so at this stage, guys and girls, FDAX, you are not picking up another trade. Petros, did you got that long on the FDAX, man? How did that trade go? Are you still long, or are you out of your trade? Because that's a ballistically easy trade, that one, mate. So what fancy guys, fancy that pivot-based reversals. Now you got a 10 and a 20, mate. That's a great result. Okay, that's a great result. Well done. Okay, now again for the NASDAQ traders, guys, we're looking for static entries. Guys, now again, I want these. I don't want to go short, guys. I can't go short on the NASDAQ. Even though I've got a really strong NASDAQ bar, I've got the S&P into the 50 of the micro trend, so we can't actually sell the NASDAQ short. We can only buy it long. What would be amazing, guys, probably the last trade for the session on the NASDAQ is if the NASDAQ was to close that candle right there in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Brilliant. If we close back above the weekly low, guys, absolutely brilliant, provided we get an agreement from the S&P to do the same. And it's been a busy, it's been a very busy day. But again, look, the stats don't lie, guys. It's been a good day. Tomorrow, guys, I would suggest with the US news coming out tonight, we've got high impact. You're more volatile than today. And again, look, PVI, guys, the volatility indicator is 146. Right, we're normally around 40 or 50. Right, so now you might not like Trump, guys. You might not like Trump, he's very, very, very good for volatility. So I do hope he hangs around for 4 years solely for the volatility. I've got a lot of traders that got a 3-year retirement plan in place. They all want to retire in 3 years' time. So Trump needs to hang around, guys, needs to hang around for 4 years. So a ton of traders can retire, and then he's allowed to go do whatever he wants. It's all about getting traders to retire, guys. Doesn't take long. Does not take long to get momentum. There is no doubt about that. Guys, we're 17 minutes into the second hour, guys. Market's slowing down. We know exactly what we're waiting for. Are there any questions at all from anyone, guys, at any trading level, from beginner all the way through to advanced? Today, guys, we're handed a Fibonacci masterclass by all markets. I would say Fibonacci and Delta masterclass today. What is it, Lockie? What's the red 80? That's the angle of the trend at the moment. So yeah, Giz, that's the angle of the trend. So at the moment, any short signal we're allowed to take because the angle is around 80%. Mate, normally if the angle's over 35%, anything selling is going to move very fast. Anything buying moves quite slowly. At 80%, mate, if the S&P wasn't selling into that 50 fib, we would be plummeting on the NASDAQ now, absolutely plummeting. The little blue box below it, mate, is a relative efficiency indicator. So again, towards the start of the candle, it'll start to read what the buyers and sellers are doing around the world and will actually give me a strength rating. It's got a relative strength. I call it RSI, but then people get upset because there's another RSI out there in the world. Mate, I call it a relative strength indicator. It just tells me how strong the team are. So if I'm going to be joining someone in a trade, sellers or buyers, then I need to make sure the relative strength is strong when I join them, and I get paid very, very fast. Literally get paid very fast. Mate, your Generation 6, your Gen 6 indicators, Tim's tinkering with those at the moment. That's where the gold delta comes from, the Gen 6 indicator. Guys, I'm getting really good feedback from those that aren't available for this trading session. They're trading gold on the US pre-market and US Open. Guys, as per the gold videos I put on YouTube, I've got some really good feedback on those gold videos. Feedback is they're trading very well. Gold is incredible to trade. US pre-market, US Open. If you're in those time slots, incredible. All right, so we're being very careful. We're being very, very, very careful. Yeah, I think these guys are going to tank. So, look, we are going to pick up, depending on the volume. Let me just watch the S&P. We are going to pick up NASDAQ. That's not a sell. It looks like it wants to romance you into selling. We are not selling that at all. FDAX. If you sell down and touch the open, push well down under the open, as you may be picking up an open base reversal. Now, that said, I need them to sell down. My backup trade is that black diamond over there on the left-hand side. But I'd need them to sell down, guys, and tag the open on the FDAX before I wanted to go long at 312. So just let them push down, guys. They need to push down. Ideally, we want them to fail at Fibonacci as well. I've got no trades on the S&P, guys, or the NASDAQ at this stage. No new trades. FDAX, didn't even get a chance to put the Fibonacci on. Your guys' entry is 312. Your first target is 317. And risk control, you've already gone through it. There's your Fibonacci failure right there. So if you are an FDAX trader, guys, you do need another trade. You've sold down. We tagged the open. You've gone long on that delta there at 312. Your first target is 317. Second target is 22. Third target is 27. By that point in time, you've cut all your risk off, guys. If you're going to go back to the 50 of the day, it's a massive trade. But for FDAX, you're not carrying any risk, please. All right, that was quite fast. Sellers still own the stair step. Guys, can't sell the market down, can only buy it back. That black diamond over there, 312 entry, has already gone through its second target and tickled its third target as well. Guys, so please don't have any risk on FDAX if you've gone long at 312. Quite a fast trade, sure. Again, but it's gone through its RCP. It's gone through the risk control point. First target, second target, third target, and then it's finished. Guys, that might be us for the FDAX. And the reason I say that, guys and girls, it takes us to around 15 trades across the markets. And again, to pick up 15 trades in a session like today, where we haven't been slapped in the face, is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. In the scheme of trading, guys, I think that's a reasonable result. Not that you have to get it right, guys, all the time. You don't have to get it right all the time, but it does help with trading psychology. There is no doubt about that. Oh, look at this. The only thing we can get, guys, on the NASDAQ. I laugh. What's the bet, guys? What's the bet? Those two little black diamonds there correspond to Fibonacci. What's the bet? Fancy that. What are the instos buying off? Look at this. Anyway, I honestly think we're toast. We're done. We're done. We've had a good day today. There's no question about that. Now, question, guys. Any questions for you? My big boss, guys, is probably going to come on the camera any second. Again, guys, for those watching out there in the world of YouTube and Instagram and similar things, guys, can I say a big thank you to TTP, guys, for allowing us to do this, guys. It allows us to get the word out globally that trading does actually work. You just need a really, really good strategy with indicators that complement. That's all you need. So guys and girls, are there any questions at all? I'll come back to cameras. I'll come back to cameras on. Let me just do that. Thank you for everybody that's sending me messages about the trading today. It has been very good. So thank you for the for the messages. My phone's on silent, but if it wasn't, it was going ding, 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 which is brilliant. So Tim, you've had a great session. Kay, mate, look, it's been really good fun, guys and girls. Just be aware now that again, as we move towards the European lunch, Europeans will become either really angry. Yeah, mate. Yeah, Cody, all good, mate. All good. All good. No, I got you covered. So guys and girls, interesting point is that the Europeans will go into lunch now. They do either one of two things, guys. They either get really, really cranky with each other and just sell the bejesus out of the market, or they basically go on and do absolutely nothing. So what does that ultimately mean, guys? It means that, again, if you've had a really, really profitable European Open trading session, guys, do not come back for at least 90 minutes from when the LTR finishes. Guys, let the European Open go through. Let European lunch go through, and then you're looking at what we call the post-Euro lunch move. If the volume drops out of the market, guys, so at the moment we're sitting around 300 on FDAX. If it drops down into the 100s, guys, you know that the big European institutions are expecting news. So once the volume drops, you know they're waiting for something. So you just don't want to get in on the market after such a great session. So guys and girls, I don't think there's any questions. So Cody confirming, mate, 100%. So guys, Codes is on a plane tomorrow. So I will be backup moderator tomorrow afternoon. So again, depending on Cody's travel and it'll either be me or Cody, guys and girls, but we'll basically do what we did today. Jeff, I love the FDAX for beginner traders because there's a micro contract called the FDXM. Jeff, I also love the FDAX because it is so ridiculously predictable. And the reason it's so predictable, mate, is because it is the flavor of the day for the 90 minutes we run the LTR. Right? And so being the flavor of the day, it's a European-centric index. It's European Open. All eyes are on Europe for around about 90 minutes to 2 hours. So we milk the FDAX for 90 minutes and then we dump it. We come back tomorrow, we milk it again. So, mate, what I love about the FDAX is the micro contract. So the micro contract is called the FDXM. It's a $5 tick. It's the same value as the NASDAQ, $5 tick. The stop losses are significantly less on the FDAX than they are on the NASDAQ. So if you want to get into the game of trading, guys, on a $5 micro, you can get in on the FDXM. I just go for 10 to 15, maybe 20 points a day. So you're still going for reasonable money, but you can start with a very small trading account as a result. Like really small trading account. Or is you could trade a $25,000 funded account, which funding to me is hilarious. You could trade a $25,000 funded account using the FDXM on 2 or 3 contracts, mate, with 2 or 3 targets. So you can straight away get into a situation where, like, all right, Lachie, I'm going for 5 10s and 15s or 5 10s and 20s. And you're actually getting used to early risk control, big targets, like literally from the start of your career, mate. You're getting used to running the market as far as you can. And the FDAX is ridiculously easy to trade in this session. Well, that's my opinion. That's my opinion, right? There'll be other opinions out there in the world, and that's okay. But we've picked up today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, guys. 7 very, very easy to spot trades. I did miss a couple, but 7 on the FDAX. About the same on the Nasdaq, guys. Similar number on these guys are so cranky. So, guys, I think personally, I think the market's going to tank. That's what I think they're going to do. So, guys, any final questions at all? Are there any final questions? Young Arlen, guys, may be coming back on from TTP. May be coming back on again. We've got around about 2 minutes until we rule the session off, guys, and say no more trading. Certainly no more signals, guys, no more signals. This is when, after a really, really exciting session, but at the same time a very profitable session, that quite often people will take just one more trade to try and squeeze the lemon just a little bit further. And that's when they make a mistake, then they panic, then they give back some money, then they get angry at themselves, and the revenge trading starts. I don't think anyone else in the world has done that. Maybe I'm the only one in the world. Guys, there's no history, or there's no future. There's no future in revenge trading. Petros, I'm the only one in the world. Yeah, don't do it anymore, guys and girls. I've got that t-shirt, right? So I don't do that anymore. Awesome. Now, next week, guys, so just as we wait for TTP, guys, next week, I'm expecting some very, very big announcements, guys, Monday, Tuesday next week regarding Ukraine and funding. So I would suggest, here we are, the big boss is here. So yeah, around about Tuesday next week, we're expecting some very big announcements to come out regarding funding for Ukraine. So I'd suggest next week will be even more volatile than what this week's been. So Arlen, we have navigated very carefully today. We've picked up a bank of winning trades. A lot of traders finished in the first 25 minutes and left. So I'm sorry, I destroyed everyone in the first 20 minutes, but destroyed them in a good way. And here we are. So thank you again for having us. It was really exciting. So
thank you so much for today's session. I'm happy to hear that people left early for very good reasons, making your profits really quickly, not overstaying, not pushing it too hard. We're determined, we're focused, guys. I love it. Lachlan, thank you so much for doing this live trading room with us every Thursday, guys.
Perfect.
The Trading Pit, Samurai Day Trading. Guys, everything's amazing. We love it. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week, and keep an eye on the market. Yeah.
It's going, guys, look at this meltdown starting. It's going to be crazy next week. Today was just an introduction as to how crazy.
Don't let a good crisis go to waste, guys.
Exactly right. Right. Thank you, Arlen. I'll see you shortly. Thank you, guys.